No, I like it. So
for everybody.
So how would you explain, or how would you give us some type of imagery of your younger years in the military? Like, from, probably like E1 to E3 from school to E1 to E3. What was your experience like? Were you like, was it intimidating? Was, was it easy for you to fit in?
Yes. Everything you're saying. Yes. Sorry, I don't mean to cut you off.
No, you're good.
Yeah, it was super intimidating. Again, like I was saying earlier, like I was a little bit of an ugly duckling. And not to discredit myself, because you know what I'm saying, but like my sister's beautiful. My sister's got green eyes, blonde hair. She and I are polar opposites. So she was the pretty popular athlete. And I was just like the rugged, the one that's always like, falling and busting their chops and having a busted lip and like that athlete. You know what I'm saying? So, and because that wasn't my thing. I was too much of a tomboy. So when I hit the fleet, for the first time in my life, I was being approached by men and all the time. And I'm not used to that kind of attention.
Hold on real quick. So I don't know how I'm going to phrase this, and I hope there's not people getting mad about this. So that's like an actual thing, like to where good looking women don't get approached, and not like this is a lot of good looking women's like first times really getting approached in their life is in the Marine Corps.
That was the worst. It was the
what?
Again, because I had not, the boys that I was in high school with, we knew each other. Like I was PJ, like I was like the ugly, the braces, Rick James bangs. Like they didn't pay no mind to me. When I'm hitting the fleet, you know what I'm saying? Like I got, like, first of all, when we pulled up in MOS school, it was insane. Like almost every window had a head or two pop up when our bus pulled up, and like, yo, the new joins are here. The new joins are here. And you hear the men say, yo, fresh meat on deck. You can ask almost any woman Marine, and they can tell you an experience to some degree, like that's close to that. Same thing when I hit the fleet. We got new joints on deck, there's fresh meat, and you hear the guys.
Hold on real quick. I'm not saying because of you, but I just want everybody to know that, one, I've never done that, and two, I am not condoning people looking at a woman as fresh meat, like at all.
Not all Marines are the same, like again, but there are that 10%, right? I'm sure that it's a little bit higher than 10%, but there are those guys that are out there, and that's what they're looking for as soon as a new woman's on deck.
That's like some predator type stuff, man.
Very much. It's very much. And, I'm barely 18. Like and now and these are men that are coming at me that are privates and PFCs to staff NCOs. I'm not kidding. And like, how do I'm at the PX and play it again. Yo, yes.
What?
Staff sergeant, like what? Or like I'll go to the gym and I'm PTing and I'm again giving like big shout out to my legs. Like again, I'm in silkies and like I got like staff NCOs saying super inappropriate things to me or making comments or just the way that they're looking at you, I'm just like, it makes me want to put on the baggiest of clothes and like, that sucks. Or like, hey, come here, young Lance Corporal, let me take you under my wing. I'll teach you the ropes. Not realizing that this guy has ulterior motives. Yeah, and looking back at it now, like, that's so frustrating because, I didn't know better. I'm like, like he's being such a good sergeant. He's being such a good staff sergeant. I'm like, oh my God, he's gonna look out for me. Not realizing that, within a couple weeks later, a couple days later, a couple weeks later down the road, hey, so what's good? Let's go out and hang out and like, let's go on a date. Like, no, I don't want to do that. And then now I'm on fucking fire watch. Now I'm on shit duty. Now I'm having all these, like, now I'm on the, working party and like that. So from PFC to Lance Corporal, working party central, because I have a mouth on me and I don't mind doing something, but why do I have to do this? Oh, now you want to question me. Now you're going to do extra, but like, the punishment doesn't fit what I was late. Like it makes no sense if you're putting me on all these shit details when just because I didn't want to go out with you or whenever we would go out, because back in the day on Pendleton, on Thursday nights, we would go down to Miramar for Latin night, you know what I'm saying? And come on, I'm body, you know what I'm saying? I would get pulled into that group and we would go down there, and because I would bump into maybe, the motor T sergeant, or I will bump into like somebody, an NCO from another unit, or even the NCOs from my unit, and I will bump into them at the club. And because I don't want to drink with them or dance with them, come Monday morning or whenever I bump into them at work, now I'm getting like real crap attitude from them. Like, really?
I'm sorry you have to deal with that. You know, I'm gonna be honest. Like I wasn't the best at empathizing for situations like that, you know, early on. But as I move up throughout the Marine Corps, like, you know, I start getting my own like female Marines in my unit and, you know, in my shop. And, you know, I would say the Marine Corps has definitely helped me to develop more empathy towards certain situations. And that's one of them, you know, so.
But it was dope. I also, being a East Coaster, like being on the West Coast now, super huge culture shock.
Right.
Some of my buddies that I went to MOS school are from Long Beach, you know what I'm saying, LA area. So it was dope because, you know, they took me in as their little sister, as we're supposed to, right? And it was great to be able to come up in the ranks with them, you know what I'm saying? Like when we were in MOS school together and see these guys and they're teaching me about their culture out in Cali, and you know, I'm learning about the infamous Hollywood Marines and like their struggles, you know. So it was dope. I love being able to be a part of the brotherhood. And I'm saying that with intent. Like it felt so good to be a part of that brotherhood.
Right.
But like, and I learned a lot, you know what I'm saying? Especially since I always got in trouble. Like I had to learn the hard way with stuff. So like, I wasn't, yeah, I was just on them working parties, man. Just having blisters on my hand from sleeping and all that fun stuff. Yeah. So it was great. My experience as a troop was good. Right. I do know though that there were a lot of opportunities that I missed out on because I'm a woman, and that's insane. Like, oh well, and this happened throughout my entire career. Well, I don't want you to go to this school because, you know what I'm saying, we want to keep something in the office nice to look at. Like, I'm sorry, what did you just say?
Please tell me you're joking. That is absolutely disgusting. And
yeah. Yes. And again, in my mind, I'm thinking, like, me? Like, what are you kidding me right now? Like, what?
Like, your superiors were saying that?
Yeah, there's so few and far. I mean, women, there's one of us to every like 60 to 200 of the men, right? So I could understand that there's only one woman in the shop, but still, like, you know, or because, we're not going to send you to, you know, to this op, or we're not going to send you on this mute because, you know, we need to send someone who's like a guy who's physically stronger, because you're not going to be able to hump those hoses, or you're not going to be able to, like, what the?
How do you feel comfortable saying that? Like, about anybody? I don't give a damn how fine anybody is. How do you feel comfortable? And like, it's so easy for you to say, like, no fear of repercussion, like no fear of like that you're hurting someone's feelings, or that, you know, you're in the complete wrong, but it's just natural. That is so disgusting.
It's a culture and a behavior that has been, it's been encouraged for years, though, if you think about it. It's in every, it's like that in colleges. It's like that in business, in corporate America. It's that level of power. And I hate to say this, but when that Me Too movement stuff cracked open like really bad a couple years ago, it was almost a sense of relief for not just myself, but almost every other woman veteran that I know, because we're like, oh, finally they're gonna start listening. Because if they listen to the other humans, and like finally they're gonna start listening to us military folk. Because if y'all think that the Me Too movement is bad, we do this shit on a military level. Like, and it sucks that we've lost, again, so many good Marines and so many good soldiers because of, you know, shitty leadership, or, you know, because of stuff like that, and being in uncomfortable situations. Like, I don't want to work with you because you make me feel uncomfortable in my own skin. Like, I'm literally wearing the same clothes you're wearing, and you're still making me feel like, like, that's insane to me. That didn't make any sense. I still wouldn't know how to register all that attention. I was on my mom crying, like, you know, I'm bawling my eyes. She's like, what's wrong? Like, thinking that like something's on fire. I'm like, I don't know what to do. Like, these men are coming at me and I don't know what to say. And then, you know, I was dating my kid's dad at the time. And, you know, that was really hard for me because I don't know, I'm huge on honor, courage, and commitment, right? Like, loyalty and all that stuff was still really big. I mean, it still is very big, but what do you mean? I'm not going to sit there and try to, like, my kid's dad is, like, you know, I'm talking to this guy and dating someone, like, oh, I don't care, like, you know, and they'll just say mad derogatory stuff towards you. So it's hard, man. It was hard looking back at it now. It's difficult to be a woman in a very male dominant environment, especially like the military, especially at that time. I mean, I know there's a lot of changes that are happening right now, which I am so ecstatic for. And I wish I was able to be a part of the Marine Corps during these changes. And looking back at it, I wish I would have spoken up more, because I know that the changes probably could have started happening a little bit earlier.
Right.
But we are trained, we are taught, yo, did you hurt yourself? Yo, rub some dirt on it, put a Band-Aid on it, keep it moving. Like, don't show weakness, keep pushing forward. Like, if you're fine, are you dying? No, then you're fine, keep going. Like, are you hurt or are you injured? Like, which is it? So how do I express to all of my NCOs or men, you know, how do I tell them, like, this guy's making me feel uncomfortable? Because then what am I going to be told? Like, suck it up, dude. Like, it's just a compliment. Like, you should be happy that guys are giving you attention. Like, all right. So then we stop voicing all these issues, you know what I'm saying? We stop voicing all of these, just live with it, man. Like, that's just how things are. And I mean, that's how things are since we were kids. You feel me? Like, it maybe not as intense, but once I hit the fleet, it was really apparent that that's how things were going to be. So you just learn how to deal with it and keep it moving.
Yeah, I'm glad you're saying this right now. I'm not sure if I'm going to get flack for, I don't give a damn, because this needs to get said. I've heard so many stories being a UVA as well. And you know, just being a leader, like especially being a staff NCO, even as a sergeant, so many like female Marines I've like felt comfortable telling me things that like, I'm just like, in the beginning, it was shocking, because I've never had women tell me certain things, and they were so open about it. They just felt comfortable telling me this.
Yes, and yeah, again, it goes both ways too. So just as men do that, like, there are plenty of women that do it just as much, right? And like, just to hear some of my women counterparts say some of the stuff, I was like, what is coming out of your face right now?
I just don't get it. Like, I don't know. It breaks my heart to hear things like that, you know, and, you know, to see that there are females, whatever service, just females in general, whether you're in the service or not, have to deal with that. It's absolutely disgusting. And like, I've never promoted like any of that type of stuff. I don't even feel comfortable catcalling a woman I don't know. I never understood that. Like, you're whistling at a female that you don't even know.
What is
I hope she has a brother.
Turn around and be like, ooh, who's calling me? Who's what? That's not gonna attract me.
Oh, you like my shorts? Oh, thank you. Like, no, it doesn't work like that, you know?
What it will do though, I will turn around and pull one of these, like, who just whistled that? You feel me? Like,
catch his hands?
catch his hands, right?